but I believe that the overall strategic value of Xinjiang to China, but also its importance in the broader regional economy of Central Asia and the broader implications for Greater Asia and the rest of the world means that we will continue to see Xinjiang moving forward in very proactive and positive ways. Hainan, and I'm a big believer in the future of Xinjiang.
Hello everyone, welcome to InXinjiang, telling you just about Xinjiang from expert eyes. Today we are delighted to have Professor Mahoney with us. This is his first visit to Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region after 2 decades of living in China. Let's hear his genuine insights about Xinjiang. Good morning, Professor. Could you please briefly introduce yourself to our audience?
My name is Josef Gregory Mahoney, Professor of Politics and International Relations at East China Normal University in Shanghai, where I also direct the Center for Ecological Civilization and do a number of other things.
How many times have you been to Xinjiang?
First, I've lived in China for almost 20 years, but I never made it to Xinjiang. So this was the first time, even though I've studied the history, understand the position of Xinjiang in China, and so I have that background information, but I hadn't actually been here to touch the soil and to meet the people firsthand. I would say that there were 2 or 3 general impressions. The first relates to climate, and I think that there is sort of a broad concern about climate change, and particularly how it affects the northwest of China with respect to water security and related issues. And so in Karamay, seeing how they were dealing with that problem very proactively was something that was very informative to me. So I didn't realize the different types of systems and mechanisms that they were using to address that problem and to do so in ways that are sustainable. So that was very interesting to see firsthand. The second thing, of course, is for people who pay attention to international media, there's often a certain storyline about Xinjiang, which is very misleading. And I know that it's misleading. I know where that story originates. I know why that story gets told. I understand the game that's being played by those people who spread that type of disinformation. But at the same time, to actually come here and to see people and to talk to people, to experience firsthand why those misinformation campaigns are lies is very useful. Right? So you can know that it's a lie, but to actually see that it's a lie firsthand is something that is very good.
Then after your field trip, what do you think is the biggest misunderstanding people abroad have about Xinjiang that you think needs fixing?
Well, the issue is not just Xinjiang. People have a misunderstanding of China, right? This is why we keep seeing foreigners coming to China in the last couple of years, and they're like, what? This is, they came here expecting something dark and they came here and found something that far exceeded their expectations. So it's not just about Xinjiang, although Xinjiang is a special case, right? There's a general problem of misinformation that originates from different sources around the world. Now, I think one of the things that we tell people, of course, is come see for yourself, right? It's very difficult in today's hyper-real media landscape where there's so much misinformation to tell people through media in a way that would convince them of the truth, because there's so much fake information. So ultimately, I think we're left with the fallback position of saying, come see for yourself. Okay, you think something terrible is happening in Xinjiang? You think that there's slave labor or genocide? Come here. So how do we deal with that? I think continue to welcome people, continue to encourage people to seek truth from facts. But at the same time, I think the great tragedy is the people who suffer from misinformation are people who are continuing to lose themselves. Their own position is eroding, right? Blaming China or creating fictions about China doesn't solve your problems. In fact, I would go so far as to suggest that many of the problems in the West can only be solved by working positively with China.
You often speak with international journalists and know how to share China's stories overseas. So in your opinion, what is the best way to share regular stories of Xinjiang and clear up those biased opinions?
Really, the only way to solve that in the most durable ways, people have to come see for themselves, right? But let's be very clear about something. Do you know that we still have a terrible problem with migrant labor in the United States? So when people are saying, oh, we've got a problem with labor in Xinjiang, which doesn't exist, what it's really distracting people from is the problem that's in the United States. You know? Or when people say, oh, there's a genocide in Xinjiang, there's no genocide. If you really, my feeling is if you want to really directly deal with the lies, you have to understand what the lies are really trying to accomplish. They're trying to distract people from the things that the other side is actually doing. Well, you know, we go to a company that produces these big combines, and by the way, 90% of the cotton now in Xinjiang is harvested by machine. The real subtext of that message is we don't have slave labor picking cotton in Xinjiang. So all of this nonsense that you can't use Xinjiang cotton because we use slave, that's a total lie, right? We're approaching it indirectly, okay? I think sometimes we have to be a little more direct.
In your view, how promising do you feel Xinjiang's long-term development?
Well, you know, I went to the expo. It was very interesting because I talked to a lot of the people, and a lot of Chinese booths. And then, of course, you see a lot of the new tech products, a lot of drones, right? A lot of robots. But then I also spent a lot of time speaking with some of the booths with people who came from other countries. And I don't think that normally you would meet these people at most international expos. And I saw some blue stones, a booth with blue stones, and it was lapis lazuli. And the gentlemen there selling those stones were from Afghanistan. Now, the United States has a difficult history with Afghanistan. So it's interesting that I would dialogue with these two gentlemen from Afghanistan who are selling this stone, this precious stone that you can only get from Afghanistan, right? And so I bought a piece. I wanted to put it on my desk because it's blue, it's beautiful. But to have that type of interaction and to have that in Urumqi or Urumqi is something that resonates with me in a way, given my attention to geopolitics and the history. But, you know, we also, I drank coffee from Uganda, ate chocolate from Turkey, spoke to a young woman from Turkmenistan who was, you know, promoting products. To see that level of direct international engagement from a lot of countries want to come and be part of the Chinese market, but to do so in Xinjiang, I think points to bright prospects. It really is pointing to not only China's changing role and changing position vis-a-vis all these countries in the world, but also increasingly people are waking up to the fact that China is the future and that Xinjiang is part of that future. But I believe that the overall strategic value of Xinjiang to China, but also its importance in the broader regional economy of Central Asia and the broader implications for Greater Asia and the rest of the world means that we will continue to see Xinjiang moving forward in very proactive and positive ways. Hainan, and I'm a big believer in the future of Xinjiang.